You're listening to TGI Sports Talk with your host Keith Angle on Northeast Streaming Sports.
Hey guys, Keith Angle for TGI Sports Talk right here on the Northeast Streaming Sports Network. My weekly vlog, guys. You know, I've been very hard on the Yankees this year. I'm a big Yankee fan, as you should know by now. I've been very hard on the Yankees, but we're seeing some kind of rebirth with the Yankees, and the question is going to be whether it continues and how it will play out in the playoffs. The Yankees are 19-5 since their last series with the Rays. They've moved from 9 games out of first place behind the Red Sox at that point. The Red Sox have fallen off the map, as we know, to only 5 games out of first place behind the Rays. And they moved into the number 1 spot in the wild card, where I thought just 2 weeks ago they'd be fighting for a chance at that second wild card with the A's and the Mariners. Well, they're now basically a game ahead of the A's, half a game ahead of the Red Sox, 3 games ahead of the Mariners for that number 1 wild card. Why has this happened? A couple of reasons. And they've had a spat of injuries. They've done all this through a spat of injuries and COVID. People coming down, players, coaches still coming down with COVID. Players mostly. Couple of reasons. James Talion has really stepped up in a starting rotation. Pitched very, very, very well. Doesn't go maybe as deep into games as we would like, but he stepped up and pitched very well. Some other guys like Andrew Haney have pitched better than I thought they would. I wasn't a big proponent of this trade, but he's pitched very well, especially his last couple starts. They've gotten some really good starts out of, several players that we wouldn't expect. Nestor Cortez. He does look like a porn actor from the 80s, but that's besides the point. Who else has stepped up here? Michael King has had a few starts. Guys, it's just been very, very interesting to watch this Yankee team. Not just the starting pitching. Starting pitching's pitched well, and we're going to get some reinforcements back as Kluber, whether he stays healthy or not is a different story. Kluber and Clark Schmidt both have had some very good starts in the minor leagues, in rehab starts, and are close to possibly being able to join the team and contribute. We got some good news about Luis Severino the other day after he had suffered a potential setback. So there could be these additions to the pitching staff in general and potentially the starting rotation. You obviously had Gallo start to step up. Rizzo has been a huge addition to this team from a leadership standpoint and with the bat. He's cooled off a little bit recently, but what he brings to that infield, the cohesiveness of that infield, it's much crisper, much sharper than it was before. I don't want to pick on Gleyber Torres anymore, but I find it very interesting that a lot of this streak, not all of it, but a lot of it, he's been out. And 27-year-old rookie, his name is skipping me here. Velasquez. What's his first name? Andrew Velasquez does what you need your shortstop to do. Him and Tyler Wade have have both started games during the stretch or played shortstop in late innings and make all the plays. All the routine plays are being made now. Can't say enough about it. They've played with a left side often of Wade and Velasquez. Wade's brought his batting average up. Velasquez hasn't embarrassed himself with a bat. And they're making the plays, all the routine plays in the field that need to be made, and have been very big contributors to this team going forward. It's going to be very interesting what the Yankees decide to do when Torres gets healthy. I'm not saying he shouldn't play, but he will be a late inning, be pulled in late innings for defense. I'm positive you'll see that for either Wade or Velasquez, or maybe both, depending on what. I don't know if you can keep them both around. But during this spat of injuries and COVID cases, the Yankees have gotten big contributions from other guys and unexpected sources. Greg Allen in the outfield. Odor has played a lot of third base, not his natural position. He's played pretty well. His batting average is low, but he supplied some big hits and some power that the Yankees really needed from the left-hand side, and especially before they got Rizzo and Gallo. So a lot of things have contributed to this rebirth, if you will. Will the Yankees be able to hold off the challengers in this wild card race, as I said? The Red Sox, the A's, the Mariners, the Blue Jays still lurk back there, only 5 games behind that number one, 4.5 games, I guess, to find behind that one spot. They're only 5 games behind the Rays. If they continue to play like this, they'll catch the Rays. But the regular season should never have been in doubt. As badly flawed as this team was put together, and I've, again, been hard on Cashman, hard on Boone, but as badly constructed as it was, they still should have had enough to be able to carry them through the regular season into the playoffs. Aaron Boone has got some interesting issues. Voit has come back and played very well, Luke Voit. He's been very vocal about the fact he thinks he should play. And I will tell you right now that Luke Voit cannot play first base over Anthony Rizzo. Rizzo just solidifies the defense and it brings a leadership to this team that was lacking before, quite frankly. Voigt's a nice player. He cannot play defense the way Rizzo does. He cannot make the rest of the infield look better the way Rizzo does. As I said, they've played better. They've been crisper, sharper. And he's been a big part of that. Now there's ways to get around this, right? I mean, Gardy has started to hit the ball better, and he's their center fielder, their everyday center fielder. And he started to hit the ball better, but I don't think he can play every day through the stretch and not wear down at his age. So the Yankees are going to have to get creative, and Boone's going to have to get creative to be able to get all these guys in the lineup. You can get Voit in the lineup and Rizzo, but it means Stanton has either got to sit or Stanton's got to play the outfield. Now, and Stanton has shown the ability to play some outfield and not get himself hurt in the handful of games he's played. So let's hope that can continue, because they're going to need to play Judge. I mean, Judge and Gallo can both play center field. I think they'd much rather Judge do it, not on a regular basis. So I don't think you're going to see him out there every day of the week. But in certain spots, you can put Judge in center field and it gets Stanton into the outfield, and that frees up the DH for Voit, or maybe even for Torres a little bit when he comes back. You can play Voit at first base 1 day a week, maybe against a tough lefty, and give Rizzo a blow. There's ways to get this done. Luke Voit can't push his way into the lineup. He's been very hot of late. But it doesn't dismiss the fact that he's a liability on defense, and he kind of goes hot and cold like Stanton, which is another reason this team still, as great as they're playing, still gives me pause that come playoff time, really good starting pitching isn't going to shut this lineup down. Gallo can get pitched to. Gallup's going to hit home runs. He's going to strike out a bunch. Same as Stanton. Same as Voit. Rizzo's a little bit different. He does put the ball in play a little better. Judge has had a really good year. Still strikes out a lot, but he puts the ball in play better in situations. But you've had guys like Wade and Velasquez who have done very well in situational hitting, better than we would have expected. There are always great stories when you see Andrew Velasquez come out of nowhere, 27 years old, to make his debut. He's a native New Yorker, which makes it even more special. So Are the Yankees born again? Have I been wrong the whole time? It's entirely possible. I never wanted to be right. I did not want to be right about this team. They're at a high water mark of 18 games over 500. Got a chance to chase down the Rays. They still got quite a few games left against the Rays. The number one thing is they need to win that first wild card. So at least that one game wild card is going to be at home. They got to get healthy. Got to get the COVID people back in the lineup. And you've got to decide how you're going to structure this infield and this outfield and continue to play the type of baseball you're playing today, which is much better pitching, much better defense, and better timely hitting. Yes, they're getting bombs, but they're getting better timely hitting. They're doing a better job of putting the ball in play in big moments. And they're not booting the ball around in big moments on defense. This all matters, guys. So right now I'm excited as a Yankee fan that maybe I was wrong. Let's just make sure the best case scenario is you chase down the Rays and you don't have to worry about that one game playoff in the wild card. That's a scary situation, right? One game. I don't want to have one game where you got to fly out to Oakland or fly to Seattle or even go to Boston. That game's got to be at home. Best case scenario, we skip it all together and win the division. Kluber, Severino, Schmidt, Herman will be back soon. Reinforcements for the starting pitching. I didn't touch on the bullpen. The bullpen's been a little scary. Jonathan Loaizaga, been a godsend. He may be the best option to close games right now. Chapman's been scary even when he was healthy. Britton has not pitched well. Green's shown he's a good arm out of the bullpen, but doesn't handle that ninth inning role very well. Loaizaga has done everything they asked of him, and he's the best pitcher in that bullpen right now. It's just a matter of, can he be that guy in the ninth inning? You might see more of that. Got a godsend for this team. So reinforcements are coming. The Yankees are hot. Will they stay hot? I hope so. Again, I'll freely admit how wrong I was. I'm starting to do it now, but you got to win in the playoffs, guys. Or I wasn't wrong. Because this team should be getting to the postseason fairly easily, even as badly as it's constructed. So let's continue. I root for them every night, even though I bash them a lot here. I want the Yankees to do well, and I know you do. Give me your thoughts. Like and share this video. Like TGI Sports Talk. Like Northeast Streaming Sports. Keith Engel. Have a great day.